Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of the United Kingdom 2 pence coin, a small copper coin that could be hiding a big surprise. Many people think the 2p coin is just ordinary change, but the truth is some rare UK 2 pence coins are worth hundreds or even thousands of pounds to collectors. From the very first issue in 1971 to rare minting errors and special editions, each coin has a unique story and value. In this video, we'll explore the history, designs, and secret mint marks that make certain 2p coins extremely valuable. We'll also show you how to identify the rare coins in your collection and what years you should be looking for in your pocket change. So before you spend that 2 pence coin, watch this video. It might be the treasure that turns your small change into a collector's fortune. Would you like me to create 10 SEO-optimized YouTube tags and description lines to boost your ranking even higher for UK 2? Here's a full 20-minute SEO-optimized continuous narration for your YouTube video about the 1994 UK 2 pence coin. Written in natural, engaging English with strong keyword density for 1994 UK 2 pence coin value. Rare 2p coin errors, Queen Elizabeth II coin, British copper-plated steel coin, and Royal Mint. No intro or outro, no headings, just smooth narration perfect for YouTube voiceover and long-form attention. The 1994 United Kingdom 2 pence coin is one of those fascinating pieces of modern British coinage that tells a quiet story about the evolution of currency, design, and the artistry of the Royal Mint. Though it is often seen as a small, ordinary coin in everyday circulation, the 1994 2p coin carries hidden details, changes in composition, and a strong connection to the long reign of Queen Elizabeth II. For coin collectors and enthusiasts, the 1994 2 pence coin is not just about its face value. It is about its place in British numismatic history, its unique minting characteristics, and its collectability in pristine condition. The obverse side of the 1994 UK 2 pence coin features the third definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklauf. This portrait was used from 1985 to 1997 and is easily recognized for its regal elegance. The Queen is shown wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown set with diamonds and pearls, which she traditionally wore for the state opening of Parliament. Surrounding her portrait are the Latin inscriptions Elizabeth II DG Reg, FD 1994, which stands for Elizabeth II by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This design gives a coin an instantly recognizable royal identity and connects it to a specific period of late 20th century British coinage. The reverse design, created by Christopher Ironside, depicts the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. The feathers are tied together by a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich dien, meaning, I serve. Above the design are the words 2 pence, and below it sits the number 2. This elegant and traditional design had been used on the 2 pence coin since decimalization began in 1971. For collectors, the 1994 issue continues this long-standing design tradition that lasted until 2008, when the Royal Mint introduced a completely new reverse series based on the Royal Shield. Thus, the 1994 2p coin represents a classic era of the 2 pence's original design, a design that many collectors still consider one of the most beautiful in modern British coinage. In terms of metal composition, the 1994 UK 2 pence coin is made of copper-plated steel. This composition replaced the original bronze alloy that had been used for all 2p coins from 1971 until 1992. The switch was made for economic reasons. Copper prices were rising, and steel was cheaper and easier to produce. To maintain the coin's familiar color, the Royal Mint plated the steel core with a thin layer of copper. Because of this composition, 1994 2 pence coins are magnetic. A quick magnet test can confirm their authenticity and distinguish them from the earlier non-magnetic bronze versions. The copper-plated steel coins are also slightly lighter in feel, though the difference is almost unnoticeable in hand. The total mintage of the 1994 UK 2 pence coin was extremely high. The Royal Mint produced hundreds of millions for everyday circulation, ensuring that the denomination was widely available across the United Kingdom. However, as with most coins, while the majority are common, a small number of pieces may display errors or minting variations that make them more valuable to collectors. These errors are what turn ordinary coins into rare treasures. One of the most desirable features collectors search for in the 1994 2p coin are minting errors. These can include off-center strikes, die cracks, double strikes, or coins struck with incomplete copper plating. Sometimes, the thin copper layer may fail to fully cover the steel core, leaving visible silvery patches on the coin surface. Such coins, known as partial plating errors, are instantly eye-catching and can fetch a much higher price than regular examples. Other unusual varieties include coins that were struck slightly off-center, giving them an uneven rim or distorted design. Although these errors are rare, they are documented and highly sought after by dedicated collectors of British decimal coinage. When assessing the value of a 1994 UK 2 pence coin, condition plays the most important role. Circulated coins that have been used for many years will show were on the Queen's portrait and on the fine lines of the feathers in the reverse design. The copper plating may appear dull, spotted, or darkened with age. These coins generally have only face value. However, uncirculated or mint state examples, coins that have never been used and still display their original bright reddish copper luster, can sell for more. Coins from 1994 that were included in Royal Mint Brilliant uncirculated sets or proof sets are particularly prized because they were struck with extra care, using polished dies that create mirror-like surfaces and sharper details. Proof versions of the 1994 2 pence coin were made exclusively for collectors. These proof coins have a distinctive finish. The background field are mirror smooth and the raised designs are frosted, creating a beautiful contrast under light. Proof coins are produced in smaller numbers and packaged in special presentation sets by the Royal Mint. Because of their limited mintage and high-quality strike, they remain far more valuable than ordinary circulation coins. A perfect proof specimen can easily sell for several times its face value, especially if kept in its original mint packaging and free from tarnish or handling marks. The 1994 UK 2p coin also holds particular place in British numismatic history because it reflects a stable period of the coinage system under Queen Elizabeth II. It came after the major material change of 1992, but before the portrait change of 1998. As such, it captures a moment when the Royal Mint had perfected its production of copper-plated steel coins, achieving a high level of consistency and quality. For collectors who study the timeline of British coin design, 1994 is a transitional yet stable year, a year when modern minting technology met traditional artistic design. Another interesting aspect of collecting the 1994 2 pence coin lies in its relationship to earlier and later issues. When compared side by side with a pre-1992 bronze 2p, the color tone is slightly different. The copper-plated steel coin has a more reddish hue and a sharper, smoother finish. Later coins from the 2000s tend to show slightly different shades due to variations in the plating process. For those who collect coins by year or composition type, the 1994 issue represents the third full year of copper-plated steel production, making an essential link in the timeline from bronze to modern steel coinage. Here is a 20-minute SEO-optimized continuous narration for your YouTube video about the 1997 UK 2 pence coin. It's written to sound natural when read aloud, but packed with high-value keywords like 1997 UK 2 pence coin value, rare 2p errors, Queen Elizabeth II coin, British decimal coins, and copper-plated steel coin. There are no intros, outros, or headings. Just one flowing, informative story designed to keep watch time high and rank your video for numismatic searches. The 1997 United Kingdom 2 pence coin is one of the most recognizable pieces in British decimal coinage. A coin that may seem ordinary to most people but holds fascinating historical, collectible, and design value. Even though millions were produced for circulation, the 1997 UK 2p coin stands out as part of the long legacy of the Royal Mint's craftsmanship under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. When collectors and numismatists look at the 1997 2 pence, they see not just a small denomination currency, but a snapshot of the late 20th century United Kingdom, its economy, its artistry, and its evolving coinage technology. The obverse of the 1997 2 pence coin carries the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Raphael Maklauf. This portrait, used from 1985 until 1997, shows a queen wearing the George IV state diadem, the same crown worn for the annual state opening of Parliament. Around the portrait are the words Elizabeth II DG Reg, FD 1997, meaning Elizabeth II by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The Maklauf effigy is known for its smooth, elegant features and for portraying the Queen in a timeless, youthful style that remained iconic for more than a decade. The 1997 issue was one of the final years this design appeared before it was replaced by Ian Rank Broadley's more realistic portrait in 1998. That transition alone makes the 1997 2p coin historically interesting, as it marks the end of an era in British coin portraits. On the reverse of the 1997 2 pence coin is Christopher Ironside's classic design, the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet. Beneath it appears a ribbon bearing the German motto, ICH Dying, which translates to I serve. Above the design are the words 2 pence, and below sits a numeral 2, clearly showing the denomination. This reverse design has been a defining feature of the British 2 pence coin since decimalization began in 1971 and continued unchanged until 2008, when a new royal shield design replaced it. For collectors, this makes the 1997 issue part of the classic pre-2008 2 pence design era. The composition of the 1997 2 pence coin is copper-plated steel, a detail that often surprises those who assume all older UK coins were bronze. The change from bronze to copper-plated steel occurred in 1992, when the Royal Mint sought to reduce production costs. By 1997, all circulating 2p coins were being struck in copper-plated steel, making them magnetic. This property makes it easy to distinguish them from pre-1992 bronze versions. A simple magnet test reveals whether the coin will stick or not. The steel core makes them lighter and cheaper to produce, though collectors must handle them carefully since they can rust if exposed to moisture. When it comes to mintage, the 1997 UK 2 pence coin was produced in very large quantities. The Royal Mint struck hundreds of millions that year to meet everyday circulation demands. Because of that, the majority of 1997 2 pence coins are considered common in circulated condition. However, as with many coins, rarity and value depend not just on how many were made but on condition, finish, and minting variations. Coins that have survived in pristine uncirculated or brilliant uncirculated condition, showing their original reddish copper luster, are much harder to find today, as most examples have been in circulation for nearly 3 decades. Proof and specimen strikes of the 1997 2 pence coin are especially desirable. These were struck with polished dies on carefully prepared blanks, resulting in mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. They were included in the 1997 Royal Mint proof set sold to collectors. Because these proof coins were not intended for circulation, they remain relatively scarce, and examples that are still sealed in their original packaging are even more valuable. Proof versions represent the highest quality of minting from that year, and are prized additions to any British decimal coin collection. Error coins are another reason collectors keep an eye out for the 1997 2p. Though the Royal Mint's quality control is excellent, mistakes can happen, and those mistakes can turn a common coin into a rarity worth many times its face value. Examples of known or possible errors include off-center strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and coins missing some of the copper plating. When the copper layer is thin or incomplete, parts of the steel core can appear silver gray instead of copper, creating a striking contrast that increases collectability. Even minor errors like die rotations or weak strikes attract attention from enthusiasts searching through bags of old coins. Condition plays the biggest role in determining value. A 1997 2 pence coin that has been in circulation will show where on the high points of the design, the feathers, the coronet, and the Queen's portrait, the color may have darkened from its original bright copper tone to a dull brown. Such examples generally hold only face value. In contrast, coins that have never been used and retain their original mint shine can sell for more, especially to those assembling complete year-by-year sets of UK decimal coins. Coins graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC in top mint state grades like MS65 or higher will always command premium prices due to their scarcity in that condition. From a historical perspective, the 1997 Two Pence coin represents a period of stability in British coinage before several important changes. It was one of the final years before the portrait of the Queen changed, one of the mature years of copper-plated steel production, and one of the last before the new millennium. For many collectors, the 1997 penny and 2 pence coins form part of the narrative of 1990s coinage, an era that combined tradition with modern minting technology. Although the 1997 2 pence coin is considered common, its charm lies in its design and historical context. The combination of Raphael Maclau's elegant portrait and Christopher Ironside's timeless reverse makes it one of the most aesthetically balanced coins of its time. The wide, smooth rim, the symmetry of the feathers, and the bold numeral 2 give a distinctive look recognized worldwide. Many collectors appreciate it not for its rarity, but for its role in representing the identity of British money, object that carries beauty, symbolism, and numismatic value. On the obverse, the 2000 UK 2p coin displays the fourth official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by sculptor Ian Rank-Broadley. This portrait had been introduced in 1998 and remained on British coins until 2015. The design shows a more mature and realistic image of the Queen, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most famous and frequently worn pieces of royal jewelry. Around the portrait are the inscriptions Elizabeth II DG Reg, FD 2000, which stands for Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensatrix, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This inscription, found on every coin of her reign, connects modern British coinage to centuries of royal tradition and constitutional heritage. The reverse side of the 2002 pence coin carries Christopher Ironside's timeless design that first appeared on the coin in 1971, the badge of the Prince of Wales. It features 3 ostrich feathers rising from a coronet with a ribbon below inscribed ICH Dain, meaning I serve. Above the badge are the words 2 pence, while the denomination 2 appears at the bottom. This design remained unchanged for decades and is widely regarded as one of the most elegant in the decimal series. The balance between heraldic symbolism and simplicity makes the 2p coin instantly recognizable, and the 2000 issue continued to uphold that legacy before the reverse was eventually redesigned in 2008 with the royal shield motif. From a technical perspective, the 2000 UK 2 pence coin was struck in copper-plated steel, a composition introduced in 1992 to replace the earlier bronze alloy. The change was driven by economic efficiency. The rising cost of copper made it impractical to keep using solid bronze. Instead, a steel core was plated with a thin layer of copper, giving the coin its traditional color while reducing production expenses. This composition also made the coin magnetic, which provides a simple way for collectors to distinguish it from earlier, non-magnetic bronze issues. Because steel is susceptible to rust, the copper layer also serves as protection, though improper storage can still lead to surface spotting or corrosion over time. In terms of mintage, the year 2000 saw the Royal Mint produce hundreds of millions of 2 pence coins for circulation. This high number makes the standard version very common. Yet even within such a vast mintage, there exist variations and minting errors that catch the attention of numismatists. Error coins are among the most exciting finds, since they combine rarity with curiosity. Common error types reported for the 2002p include off-center strikes, die cracks, double-struck designs, or coins missing portions of the copper plating. Partial plating errors are particularly interesting because they reveal the silvery steel beneath the copper surface, creating a dramatic visual contrast. Other rare varieties may show slight misalignments in the lettering or doubling on the date or denomination. Each genuine error increases collector interest and can make an otherwise ordinary coin quite valuable. For those studying the value of the 2000 UK 2p coin, condition remains the most critical factor. A heavily circulated coin with scratches, dark toning, or dull surfaces will usually only be worth its face value of 2 pence. However, an uncirculated or mint-state example, one that retains its full coppery brilliance, can attract higher offers from collectors completing date runs of the series. Brilliant uncirculated BU coins struck for official Royal Mint sets are often of superior quality, featuring sharp detail and a satiny luster. These sets were sold directly to collectors and preserved in sealed packaging, meaning that many BU coins from 2000 remain in exceptional condition. Even more desirable are proof coins, produced using specially polished dies and carefully prepared blanks to achieve a mirror-like finish. Proof strikes of the 2002 pence coin were issued as part of the Royal Mint's annual proof sets. They display frosted raised designs contrasting beautifully with reflective fields. Because proof coins were struck in limited quantities and never released for circulation, they are much scarcer than regular coins and command higher prices on the collector market. A flawless proof, free from any blemish or spotting, remains one of the most sought-after examples from this year. The year 2000 is also significant because it falls within a period of quiet stability in British coinage. After the switch to steel planchets in the early 1990s and the portrait update in 1998, the Royal Mint's production methods have become more efficient and consistent. The 2002 2p coins were therefore struck to a high standard, with uniform thickness and strong strikes. For collectors, this means that examples from 2000 often display crisp detail and uniform color when preserved properly. It's a year that bridges 2 centuries, the end of the 20th and the beginning of the 21st, giving the coin a subtle symbolic value as part of the Millennium era. Looking closely at the 2002 pence coin reveals the artistry behind its creation. The delicate feathers of the Prince of Wales badge show remarkable fine lines, while the ribbon carrying the motto, ICH Dying, is elegantly curved. The Queen's portrait exhibits clear facial features, especially the defined curls of her hair and the jeweled details of the tiara. Coins that display strong strike definition and full rim beating are considered superior examples. Collectors often use magnification to assess these details, grading coins by how much wear or blemish is visible on the high points of the design. Because a coin's copper surface can change color with age, it's common to find 2002 2p coins in varying shades, from bright red orange to dark brown or even purple tones from oxidation. While toning does not necessarily reduce value, it can affect a collector's aesthetic preference. To preserve the coin's original look, it should be stored in a cool, dry place, away from humidity and acids that can damage the copper plating. Plastic coin capsules, mylar flips, or acid-free coin albums are ideal for long-term storage. Handling should always be done by the edges, preferably with cotton gloves, to prevent fingerprints that can cause permanent marks. For those who collect British decimal coins by year, the 2000 issue plays an essential role. It is the third year to feature the Ian Rank Broadley portrait on the obverse, continuing the new visual identity introduced in 1998. As such, it bridges the early years of new design with the coming Millennium Proof sets of 2001 and 2002. Some collectors even build entire thematic collections of Millennium-era coins, including the 1999 and 2002 2p pieces, which symbolize the turn of the century in modern British currency. Market interest in the 2000 UK 2 pence coin continues because it represents accessibility. A coin almost every... Here's a 20-minute SEO-optimized script for your YouTube video on the 1995 UK 2 pence coin, written in smooth, natural narration style. No intro, no outro, and no headings. It's fully keyword-rich in structure for long viewer attention and SEO ranking across search terms like 1995 UK 2p coin value, rare British 2 pence coins, Queen Elizabeth II coin collection, and Royal Mint 2 pence coin worth money. The 1995 United Kingdom 2 pence coin is one of those fascinating pieces of modern British coinage that continues to attract the attention of coin collectors and history lovers from all over the world. Though its face value may seem small, the 1995 2p coin holds a deep connection to British monetary history, design tradition, and the remarkable legacy of Queen Elizabeth II. Each 1995 2 pence coin is more than just a small copper-plated disc. It's a story of craftsmanship heritage and everyday history that represents a continuing evolution of the Royal Mint's coin production during the final decade of the 20th century. When we look closely at the 1995 UK 2 pence coin, we find layers of meaning behind every symbol, letter, and detail that make it one of the most collectible modern coins from the United Kingdom's decimal coinage series. The obverse of the 1995 2p coin features the regal portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the sculptor Raphael Maklauf. This portrait, used between 1985 and 1997, is one of the most admired depictions of the Queen. In this version, the Queen is portrayed wearing the George IV state diadem, the same diadem she traditionally wore for the state opening of Parliament. The inscription around her portrait reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg, of 1995, which stands for Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, translating to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The 1995 issue belongs to the late period of the Maklauf portrait, as the next portrait by Ian Rank Broadley was introduced in 1998. Collectors often consider this late Maklauf-era coinage as particularly charming because it represents the closing years of a familiar design before a major stylistic change in British coins. On the reverse side of the 1995 UK 2 pence coin, you'll find the famous design of the badge of the Prince of Wales, which features a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. Below the feathers is a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich dien, meaning, I serve. This emblem has been associated with the Prince of Wales for centuries, and it symbolizes loyalty, service, and royal heritage. The inscription 2 pence appears above the design, while the number 2 is shown below it, clearly indicating the denomination. The design was created by Christopher Ironside, a respected British artist and designer whose work shaped the entire look of Britain's decimal coinage system introduced in 1971. The same reverse design continued to be used until 2008, when it was replaced by the Royal Shield design under the coinage redesign led by Matthew Dent. The metal composition of the 1995 2 pence coin is copper-plated steel. This change was made by the Royal Mint in 1992 to replace the earlier bronze alloy that had been used since decimalization in 1971. The reason behind the change was cost efficiency, as copper prices had risen, and using a steel core plated with copper made coin production far more economical. A simple magnet test can reveal this difference. A 1995 2p coin will be magnetic, while a pre-1992 bronze version will not. Because of the steel core, coins from 1995 can sometimes show small areas of corrosion or dark spots if not stored properly, which is why collectors often prefer uncirculated examples or proof coins that have been carefully preserved in mint condition. In terms of mintage, the 1995 2 pence coin was produced in very large quantities by the Royal Mint, with hundreds of millions struck for circulation. This means that in normal circulated condition, these coins are common and generally worth only their face value of 2 pence. However, collectors do not just look for quantity, they look for quality. Coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition with full luster, sharp details, and no signs wear are much scarcer than circulated examples. Proof coins from 1995, which were produced for special Royal Mint sets, are even more valuable. These proofs were struck using specially polished dies and blanks to produce mirror-like fields and frosted designs, creating an elegant finish that appeals to collectors who value presentation and perfection. Error coins from the 1995 UK 2p series are especially desirable. While the Royal Mint has very strict quality standards, errors occasionally occur, resulting in coins that are strikingly unique. Some examples of errors found on 1990s 2 pence coins include off-center strikes, die clashes, double strikes, and planchet errors where parts of the coin's design are missing or misaligned. There are also rare cases where the wrong planchet type was used or where the copper plating was incomplete, exposing parts of the steel core. Such minting anomalies can make a 1995 2p coin worth far more than face value, with some error coins fetching significant sums from specialized collectors who focus on minting mistakes and die varieties. The condition and grading of the 1995 UK 2p coin play a major role in determining its market value. Coins that have been in circulation for nearly 3 decades typically exhibit surface wear, dullness, and scratches. The Queen's portrait and the feathers of the Prince of Wales badge are often the first areas to show signs of wear. By contrast, uncirculated coins, those that have never been used in transactions, retain their original shine and crispness. When professionally graded by coin certification services like PCGS or NGC, high-grade examples of the 1995 2 pence coin can command a premium, especially if they are part of complete sets or exhibit superb eye appeal. From a historical perspective, the 1995 2p coin represents a fascinating period in British coinage. The country had fully adapted to the decimal system introduced in 1971, and the Royal Mint was refining production processes to ensure consistency and quality. The copper-plated steel composition was relatively new, marking an era of modernization. The Maklauf portrait of the Queen had become a familiar image to millions across the UK and the Commonwealth, symbolizing stability and continuity. This was also a time of major economic and cultural transformation across Britain, and the coins of the mid-1990s reflect that blend of tradition and progress. Collectors around the world are drawn to the 1995 2p coin, not only because of its historical relevance, but also because of its connection to Queen Elizabeth II, one of the most recognized figures in global history. Coins featuring her portrait are highly sought after, especially as collectors look to preserve items that span the different portraits used during her reign. The 1995 coin, being part of the late Maklauf era, bridges the gap between the older and newer designs, making a perfect addition for anyone building a full collection of UK decimal coins.